The overlaying on top of looking, seeing and knowing and the living, this is all about the Samudhaya, the cause of suffering, desire and delusion that is overlaying. Use the reminders constantly with everything is from no grasping for the non-grasping itself. This will continue with the purification through the unwinding and releasing for samsara. Right now it's not difficult already. Use the reminders, otherwise the habits of the Samudhaya, the attempt to dwell within looking and seeing, is not releasing or unwinding at all. The attempt to be fixated within looking, seeing and knowing within states of mind, this kind of identification is there. So use the reminders constantly with everything is from step back from the stepping back itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. Continue to use the reminders with this purification. Otherwise, you're gonna be only with the downness, standing like a stump. You're gonna be like the guarding giants in those temples, guarding oneself on and on. There is no discarding from the discarding itself, always guarding oneself. That is the subject of guarding. This is not the subject of cutting deluded knowing. Step back from the stepping back itself. Everything is from this essence. It's from no grasping for the non-grasping itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. It is not difficult to help to purify through brightening, releasing and unwinding. The attempt to dwell creates complications. The attempt to dwell is the troublemaker. However it is always troubling. Attempting to dwell within oneself or within all things, this is samsara in itself. It is the Samudhaya, is the attributes of the Samudhaya, is the cause of the suffering, causing to create samsara. This is the attempt to dwell, dissolve it. With everything is from step back from the stepping back itself, not grasping for the non-grasping itself. Let's conclude through the purification. Purify the conclusion itself. Use the reminders that purify itself constantly. Otherwise, you're gonna get down by the dwelling within the mind, maintaining and sinking in oneself on and on. Let's purify well the attempt to dwell with the mind. That is the realms of the presence. The attempt to dwell within the mind is the realms of the mind at the presence, which is samsara within itself. It's not give up the giving up itself, not discarding the discarding itself, not let go of the letting go itself. How can it release from being realms of existence? With everything is from give up the giving up itself. Let's use the reminders that purify themselves constantly. It has to be beyond blossoming lotus or closing lotus. It has to be beyond attachment or detachment. Beyond, even the beyond itself, that is from no grasping for the non-grasping itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. This is always purifying through the emptiness, boundlessly. Always purifying through the emptiness, boundlessly. Therefore, use the reminders. It will be beyond even the brightness. The reminders that purify themselves, purifying themselves. And everything will be purified accordingly. Automatically. It's from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Let's use this reminder constantly. Everything is from no grasping for the non-grasping itself. This will purify the projection to grasp for body, mind, looking, seeing and knowing, thinking, feelings, emotions, grasping for opinions and meanings, grasping for memorizes. This is the overlaying of the grasping mind, which is samsara in itself. Use the reminders that purify themselves constantly. With everything is from mind itself. If everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself, it's not be stuck with just belief values about cutting or not cutting, fixating or not, let go or not letting go, that which has nothing to do with letting go or not letting go, fixated or not fixated, cutting or not cutting, that which has nothing to do with attachment or detachment, liberated or not. There is no such belief values in whatever ways. There is belief values because of the delusion within the opinions and meanings. That's why it creates belief values. That which has nothing to do with attachment or detachment, how can it become in such a way with this idea of attachment and detachment? This is because of the grasping mind. Being deluded to the belief values of titi, opinions and meanings. What is there within attachment or detachment? It has nothing to do with this. That which has nothing to do with nibbana or not, being enlightened or not. In this way, it will be true nibbana, true enlightenment. There is only just about having belief values, which is drifting in itself on and on. Therefore, with everything is from no grasping for the non-grasping itself, not attached to the non-attachment itself. This will purify both attachment or not attached, grasping or not grasping. This is the samudhaya. It will be purified totally, dissolving altogether. Everything is from no grasping from the non-grasping itself. This will purify all the delusion about grasping or not grasping. There is someone who is grasping or not grasping. Let's end all this kind of misleading. All self-importance will be purified. There is no complication at all. Everything is from mind itself, from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Everything is not something about attachment or detachment in its nature, child. Everything is not something that is attached or detached in its nature. There is no meanings as attachment or detachment in everything. No meanings as attachment or detachment in itself. There is just a delusion with one's own opinions and meanings, with one's own titi. That's why there is identification, which is proceeding in such a way on and on, endlessly. That which is not anything, even itself. Therefore, don't be deludedly yes and no with anything. No is not even no itself. Don't be obsessed to deludedly yes and no with anything. Being obsessed with belief values, deludedly yes and no with anything. My or not my with anything. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment, child. That which has nothing to do with yes or no, be thorough. Let's conclude well through Nirodha and Nibbana for samsara.